I started as a film fan who aggregated toward making films. I'll finish as a fan. I've remained a fan all throughout, right? So I started as a fan, remained a fan, and one day they're not going to let me do this anymore, or my body won't let me do it anymore, or whatever. And so I'll finish as a fan as well. So for me, I watch a movie, never once do I sit there and go like, could have done this and I would have done that better.
Do you still say bad? That's terrible. This is terrible.
Never.
You don't,
oh my God.
You never watch a movie and go, that's fucking terrible. I just wasted my money.
No, I'll get out before then. Because chances are I'm not in a theater when this is happening. And if I am in a theater when it's happening, chances are I own the movie theater. Like I own Smog Castle Cinemas, my movie theater in Jersey. So that's where I get to plug. That's where I get to see movies for free, more or less. So if I ain't into it, it's just like streaming at home where I'm like, oh, I'll pause and I'll move on to things. And the difference between this iteration of Kevin Smith at age 53 and the one that most people met at the beginning of my career when I was, say, 23, 24, when Clerks happened, is that back then I would have told you all the movies that I hate and here are the reasons why they suck and whatnot. And you would never hear that from me today. You'll never hear me say, what's the point, man? Life is too short. I almost died of a heart attack 6 years ago. And then last year I lost my fucking mind. So broke my heart, broke my fucking brain. Any minute now I can like leave this place. I don't want to spend any fucking seconds going, you know what sucks? Instead, I'll tell you, I will spend hours telling you about what I love. That's a better use of my time, your time.
That's healthy.
If you're looking for negativity, like you don't need me. You can find it like on the internet for free.
Well, here's the thing. When I watch a movie, so we have a horror movie group. And it's a bunch of us that watch only horror movies on Tuesday nights at my house.
Are you serious?
And
can I ask you a question? What is it like just having friends and doing a thing? You don't shoot that or nothing? That's just like what you do for fun?
No, and it's so funny because we have a rose and bomb rating system. So it's 3 roses, 2 roses, 1 rose, and John Heater is in. So it's a heater is right down the middle, and then one. And that's bomb, the boy who was
he was in
Napoleon Dynamite.
Napoleon Dynamite.
Yes. And so
name drop a little more. Who else is in
But
this
it's
group?
funny because
I want to know what other celebrities are in this group. I just spoke to 5th and 6th graders at my movie theater the other morning, and the talk after 45 minutes devolved into who's the most famous person you ever met? And I really like had an existential moment going like, I've never met anybody important like a president, but I don't know if you consider politicians important or not. And I found out what 5th and 6th graders in the real world. You want to know who they wanted to, who have you met this one? Because I told them, I said, look, I work with Ben Affleck, Jennifer Lopez, Matt Damon. I said I worked with both Will Smith and Chris Rock, and neither of them smacked each other. I was like, I've worked with some, so I felt like I had a pretty healthy list. Will Smith was the name they seemed most impressed by and stuff. Wow. But then they started asking me like, have you met Jack Black? I was like, I did meet Jack Black. They're like, oh. Dua Lipa, they want Lipa or Lipa? Lipa. Dua Lipa.
I know who you're talking about.
The one that really surprised me is like, have you met Ice Spice? And I'm like, I think Ice Spice just happened. Like she's happening as we speak. Like I saw her on SNL. That's the only way I'm familiar with this artist. I said, but suddenly I wanted to have a discussion with a 10-year-old about like, why would I meet Ice Spice this early in her career? And I'm sure they'd be like, look, I was just throwing names out. Who else? Tom Brady, they wanted to know if I met. I said no. They wanted to know if I met Doja Cat, Beyonce.
And all these were no's.
Of the ones I mentioned, yeah, those were no's. But I did blow their fucking preteen doors off. When who do you think is the most famous person in the world to 10, 11-year-old?
Oof, that's tough. You're asking me. I'm stuck in like 85.
Me too. So I'd say Lex Luthor.
Exactly. I don't know that answer.
Think.
Oh, Taylor Swift.
Bang. See? Look at you. You didn't even require like
prompting.
Fucking Watson.
Right.
Like you're Sherlock by yourself. You fucking fire the other guy. It's all fucking Cumberbatch.
I mean, Benedict.
So
yeah.
Wait, where were we?
But that was the famous person was Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift. So they're like, what about Taylor Swift? And I was like, well, I said, years ago, I got thrown off an airplane for being too heavy, too fat to fly. And this was like, some of these cats weren't even born when this shit happened. So I was like,
Wow.
I couldn't fly. I could fly, so I didn't want to because there was a bounty on my head. Paparazzi, I saw on a paparazzi website, if you can get a picture of Kevin Smith at an airport, it was like almost $10,000. Double that if he's eating at the airport and shit. So I was like, I ain't going
Are you
near the airport.
serious?
This is all
This is
happening.
true.
This is a true story. So I was like, I'm not going
Wow.
near the airport. I tell the kids, I said, I had to find different ways to get to the gigs. I do a lot of live gigs. I said, so I wound up renting a bus. And it was so fun. It was like being the Partridge Family, but just one. And I said, this would work for me. And I said, and one of the kids was like John Madden. I was like, well, I guess, yes. I'd heard that he also had a bus. I said, but I bought a bus. And when I was buying the bus, I bought it from this state down south. And the man who sold it to me, the older gentleman, was just like, you know whose bus this is? And I was like, should I not do the voice? I don't know anymore.
Do it.
Can you get away with a
I
southern
think you
voice,
can.
or is that considered?
I think you can get away.
I know
with
it's a
it.
very divisive year, and I don't want to add any more to that
Oh,
and have
God,
people be like, there he is
please.
doing the voice.
We're turning the corner.
Just know that he was a southern man and a gentleman. And so I'm not going to do the voice. So he was like, you know who's.
Let me do the voice. You know who this van belongs to?
You know, that's better. Can I? All right,
Do you
let's
know
say
who
we're
this-
not doing him. Now we're just doing a sketch.
All right.
A couple Southerners.
Yeah. I'll tell you what. You know whose bus this is?
Who bus this is?
Oh man, I'm asking you.
But I don't know. I was asking.
But you're the one who knows the answer to who the bus is. I can't answer that question because the interview is you and you telling me about this man who's.
Wait, I thought we were doing a sketch.
Oh, we were. I fucked it up.
Oh, for a minute, I thought you bought into the performance so deeply you fell down the rabbit hole, and I was just like, "Oh my god, this is gonna be an amazing interview." I'm gonna trick fucking Michael into constantly thinking we're in a different scenario. He said, "Do you know who owned this bus?" I said, "No." He goes, "Taylor Swift," and this was like back in 2008, 9.
Wow.
So I was like, "Who's that?" I had no clue. And he's like, "Oh, she's an amazing